Hi, this is Aya Cash, one of the narrators for Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. Here is a short excerpt from the audiobook that I hope you enjoy. Kendra Melody Matheson. Pretty. That's what I am, I guess. I mean, people have been telling me that's what I am since I was 2, maybe younger. Pretty as a picture. Who wants to be a cliché? Pretty as an angel. Can you see them? Pretty as a butterfly. But isn't that really just a glam bug? Cliché, invisible, or insect-like. I grew up knowing I was pretty and believing everything good about me had to do with how I looked. The mirror was my best friend, until it started telling me I wasn't really pretty enough. Pale beauty. That's what my mom calls the gift she gave me through genetics. We are Scandinavian willows with vanilla hair and glacier blue eyes and bone china skin. 2 hours in the sun turns me the color of ripe watermelon. When I lead cheers at football games, it is wearing SPF 60 sunblock. Gross. Basketball season is better, but I'll be glad when it's over. Between dance lessons and vocal training and helping out at the food bank, all grooming for Miss Teen Nevada, I barely have time for homework, let alone fun. At least staying busy mostly keeps my mind off Connor. I wish I could forget about him, but that's not possible. I tumbled hard for that guy. Gave him all of me. I thought we had something special. He even let me see the scared little boy inside him, the one not many other people ever catch a glimpse of. Did he show that boy to the ambulance drivers who took him to the hospital, or to the doctors and nurses who dug the bullet out of his chest, sewed him up, saved his life? I want to see him, but Kara says St. Mary's won't allow visitors. Betty doesn't want them, scared he might look helpless. What he doesn't get is that everyone gets scared. I used to get sick to my stomach every day before school. Reading, writing, and arithmetic? Not my best things. I just knew some genius bully was going to make major fun of me. Then I figured out rule number 1 of the popularity game. Looks trump brains every time. While it might be nice to have both, I'll settle for what I've got. College isn't a major goal, don't need it to model. Everyone says I have what it takes to do runway. I don't think I do yet, but I will. My mom has groomed me for modeling for years, ever since she entered me in my very first baby beauty pageant. I wasn't even 1 yet. Couldn't walk, but already had a killer smile. Mom dressed me up in pink swirls and paraded me down that runway herself. We went home with a tiara. Next thing you know, I had an impressive portfolio and a dozen more rhinestone crowns. Soon, my cute cherub face was smiling for diaper ads and shampoo commercials. Once I could toddle, the trend continued, with pricey gowns and big girl makeup and hair that made me look years older. Then I did catalog shots, wearing the latest JCPenney and Sears fashions. All through grade school, weekends centered around pageants. And after school, instead of homework, I studied ballet and tap and gymnastics. Plus the coaching and poise and prepping for interviews. Oh yes, and cozying up to sponsors who help pay for the outfits and entry fees. Mom ended up leaving Daddy for one of them, an orthodontist with a client list full of beauty queen hopefuls. Patrick is my stepdad now, and he's still paying our way in. I took a year off while he straightened my teeth. Braces and pageants don't mix. It was right about then that the mirror started showing me flaws. When you're younger, a bump in the nose and a few extra pounds don't mean much. But now they do. The rhinoplasty is already scheduled for spring break, a week to heal the swelling and bruising that come with nose jobs. Scared? Yeah. Statistically, I should be just fine, but there are always those annoying what-ifs. What if it doesn't work? What if it makes things worse? Or best of all, what if I have a bad reaction to the anesthesia and freaking die? The plastic surgeon comes highly recommended. She and Patrick went to college together. Not sure how that makes her better than anyone else, but Patrick's paying for the surgery, so it's all good. If it turns out the doc rocks, I'll use her again for my boob job. Patrick won't pay for that. In fact, he gave me a totally embarrassing lecture. First of all, for a young lady your age, I'd say the good Lord gave you just enough in that department. That, while trying not to stare at my 34 Bs. And my guess is you haven't finished developing yet. At that point, Mom jumped in to agree. I didn't fill all the way out until my 20s. Not till after I had you and Jenna. Not until after breastfeeding 2 babies. But here's the deal. I don't plan on babies or breast milk augmentation. Doesn't matter. Once I hit 18, my pageant winnings will be all mine to spend, and I will have the D-cups I need to kick ass in the cutthroat world of fashion. What's irritating is that Jenna, who just turned 16, is well on her way to D-cups already. Of course, though she's 3 inches shorter, she's 15 pounds heavier, and happy to stay that way. Jenna takes after Daddy, both her looks and her lack of ambition. I watch her, tucked under a quilt on the window seat, reading. She seems blissfully unaware of the snow crawling up the glass behind her. For some stupid reason, that really bugs me. Hey, you gonna get dressed sometime today? Jenna's eyes roll up over the rim of her book. What's it to you anyway? I'm not shoveling all by myself. Patrick said to keep the walk clean. She shrugs. What's the use in doing it now? It's just gonna get covered again. True enough, but it wouldn't hurt her to do it twice. It's good exercise. The book drops a couple of inches, enough to expose Jenna's mean-edged smile. Maybe you should do it all then. You're looking a little flabby. I could fast pitch an insult back at her, but she's expecting that. I try a slow curveball instead. Really? Then I guess I'll take my own advice. Wouldn't want you to have a heart attack anyway. Her face flares, jaw to ear tips. She lifts her book to cover it up. I didn't react badly because I knew she was just being rude. I do carry extra poundage, but she doesn't think so, and neither does anyone else. Even the scale keeps trying to tell me 122 pounds isn't too much for my 5'10" framework. But that stinking mirror doesn't lie. Every time I walk by, it shouts out, "Hey, Chub, when are you gonna lose those 15 pounds of ugly-ass flab? Do you want to stay size 4 forever?" Between dance and cheer, I get plenty of exercise, so I know my real enemy is food. But calories won't conquer me. They are the one thing that I can control. And just maybe, if I can control them, make myself thin as I need to be, the rest of my life will turn right again. Maybe if I can make Daddy proud enough, he'll come see me cheer or watch me vie for Miss Teen Nevada. Maybe if I can make Mom really look at me, she'll have something to think about besides Patrick. Maybe when I'm a size 2, a talent scout will take an interest in me. And maybe, when Connor gets out, he'll decide I'm the one he wants after all. Maybe. So I'll count every calorie, train even harder, fight for buff. And maybe I'll ask Sean about that steroid I read about, the weight loss phenom of the stars.